Hey there, Regina Ayala here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, our theme is prompt engineering. What does prompt engineering mean? It's how you communicate with AI. Now, we talk a lot about our text tools, meaning content creating tools, and we're going to talk about them again today. And when you're working with these content creation tools, there's this concept of prompt stacking. It's a technique that we use, and it's really super simple. It just means giving the tool bits and pieces to work with. So, for example, we talk about saying give it a role. So you can give your AI tool. We'll talk ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT, Claude. You can use Gemini, Meta, Jasper, whichever content creation tool is your tool of choice. There's tons of them out there now. ChatGPT is still the number one out there in the marketplace. So we'll use ChatGPT for our example. So you say to ChatGPT, you say act as an expert content writer. And that's it. And you hit the go button. It will come back and say, okay, I got it. I am acting as. Now, here's the thing with prompt stacking. When you use the prompt stacking, it helps make it clear to AI and you what's happening. Because if you just put the whole prompt in and it doesn't really understand what it was that you were really asking for, maybe you weren't clear on how you wrote it, or it wasn't clear on how it understood what you wanted, then using this prompt stacking will make it crystal clear to both you and the tool what you want. So you say, act as a expert content engineer, a content creator, and you hit go. It comes back. Okay, I got it. I'm going to act as this. Now you give it the next thing. And maybe it's, you want to create some content for your social media. I'm creating 5 social media posts for my group called whatever your group is. And stop right there. Sorry, stop right there if you're prompt stacking. my head's going forward here. And then what you do from there is you hit enter again. It says, okay, I know you're creating that for your group. And it will take into account who it is. Then give it more context. The audience is people, women in their 50s who are looking to lose 20 or more pounds. And you hit enter. Now, give it a little bit more context. These posts should include information like, and maybe you have some very specific things that you want to talk about in your posts. So now you start listing some of these. Now, the one thing I like about prompt stacking, when I do it this way, and I'm going to tell you, I don't actually do it this way. I'm going to give you my way of doing it in a second, but this is traditional prompt stacking. So now one of my favorite questions is, does all of this make sense? Do you have any questions? And the chat will come back and say, yep, I got it, or no, I need some clarification on. These are the spots that are important, because these are the things that when you ask ChatGPT, Claude, whoever, when you ask it, do you understand this? It is then and only then that it is going to come back and let you know if it doesn't. If it needs more clarification, if you just type it in and you don't say, do you need clarification? Do you need any more information? Does this make sense? It's a total yes, man. It will come back and go, wow, that sounds great. I got it, da, 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 da. Because it doesn't know to do that until you specifically ask it, do you need more information? It's not going to do it. So if you stop at that point and then go on and say, okay, let's create the first post. So in my original up at the top, I said, create 5. Now, create the first post. We're not going to have them create all 5 at once. Why? Because we want to make sure he got it. So we create the first one. Okay, this sounds good. However, please make sure it's in this tone at this reading level. So now you can keep stacking. So it's basically just one chat with all these prompts. That's traditional prompt stacking. Now I'm going to tell you how I do prompt stacking. So in my case, I give it everything all at once. So think about creating a full week's worth of content. You're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe you're doing blogs, you're doing posts, you're doing emails, you're creating articles, whatever it is that you do. So we'll use those four, okay? And maybe you've got a live that you're doing, and so we'll use tips and tricks, right? So when you create the post, you create it all at once. So all of those prompts that we were stacking individually, we're going to put and squash all in one and add a little bit more to it. So we say, act as an expert content creator. I am creating a week's worth of content for my group of whatever it is. Here are the details for what I'm looking for. Maybe it's a theme of the week. My theme of the week is this. The focus for this week is on this specific thing. Now, I need to create on Monday a blog post, on Tuesday a tips and tricks, on Wednesday an email, on Thursday I need an article, on Friday I need a freebie to give away. So you put all of that in, and at the bottom, stop and say, does this make sense? Let it come back and say, yep, I'm going to create all this stuff. Okay. Now you say, please give me the outline for this week's worth of content, so that it gives you, and you make sure at that point, now your next prompt is verifying that ChatGPT actually understood what it was that you wanted it to do. Okay, now it's got it. You say, great, it's got Monday through Friday. It's there. Now, individually, you're not going to say, okay, go create all this stuff. Individually, please create the Monday blog. Please create the Tuesday tips and tricks. Please create the Wednesday email. Each one of them is an individual prompt. You're not telling it to do it all at once. So the reason why you want to do that is basically to eliminate confusion on the tools part of what it is that you're getting, and to save you time. Because if you're constantly going back and forth saying, I don't get the right information from these tools, then it's because the tool is confused because it hasn't been communicated with right. It hasn't been prompted correctly. It's just communicating with the tool. Speak to the tool like you're speaking to a 2-year-old. Give it very explicit instructions of what it is that you want, and you will get the output in the exact format that you want it. If you don't want it to use certain punctuation, if you want your output in a certain format, say I want bullets in I want to do a blog and I want some bullet points in it. I want to do an article and it's paragraph format because it's an article. It's not, I don't want the bullet points. So you want paragraph format. You can tell it, but you need to be very explicit. And so as you're putting all those different prompts in, you get clearer and clearer and clearer, and make sure that the tool understands exactly what it is that you're looking for. And once it does, you will get the output exactly the way you need it, so that you can review it, maybe do a couple little tweaks, but pretty much it is ready to go. Save yourself a boatload of time by learning how to stack your prompts to make sure that the tool actually gives you what it is that you're looking for. So that's what I've got for today. We will see you next time on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.